The Alaskan wilderness has a way of humbling even the most disciplined minds. Endless forests stretch beneath heavy skies, mountains rise like ancient sentinels, and silence presses in so tightly it feels alive. For one U.S. Army soldier stationed in a remote region of Alaska, that silence was shattered by an encounter that would haunt him long after his service ended, an encounter with something the locals call the Gugwe. The soldier had been deployed to assist with winter training exercises near a sparsely populated area, far from any major base. His unit was accustomed to harsh conditions, brutal cold, and long patrols through unforgiving terrain. On one particular night, he was assigned a solo perimeter check near a supply drop zone several miles from camp. The moon was high, casting pale light across snow-dusted trees, and the forest was unnaturally quiet. No wind, no animal sounds, just the crunch of boots against frozen ground. As he moved deeper into the tree line, he began to feel watched. Years of training had taught him to trust that instinct. He stopped, scanned the area with his night vision scope, and saw nothing. Yet the feeling intensified, like eyes boring into his back. Then came the smell. A powerful, rotten stench filled the air, reminiscent of wet fur, decay, and something metallic. He later said it was unlike anything he had ever smelled before. Moments later, heavy footsteps echoed through the trees. These were not the light steps of a moose or bear. Each step landed with weight and intention, snapping branches and compressing snow. The soldier raised his weapon and called out, assuming a large animal was approaching. The footsteps stopped instantly. What followed was a sound he would struggle to describe for the rest of his life, a low, guttural vocalization that carried both rage and intelligence. Through the trees, something massive emerged. It stood upright, towering well over 7 feet tall, covered in dark, matted hair that glistened faintly under the moonlight. Its arms were unnaturally long, reaching almost to its knees, ending in thick, clawed hands. But it was the face that froze him in place. The creature's eyes reflected light like an animal's, yet there was awareness behind them. Its mouth opened to reveal human-like teeth mixed with sharp fangs, and its jaw seemed too wide, too wrong. The soldier later learned that indigenous legends described the Gugwe as a giant, aggressive forest being, far more dangerous than what most people think of as Bigfoot. According to these stories, the Gugwe is territorial, violent, and known to attack humans without provocation. As the creature stepped closer, the soldier fired a warning shot into the ground. The sound echoed through the forest, but the Gugwe did not flee. Instead, it roared. The sound was deafening, vibrating through his chest and rattling his teeth. In that moment, training kicked in. He fired directly at the creature. He swore he saw a round strike its torso, yet it barely reacted, only staggering slightly before letting out another furious roar. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the Gugwe retreated into the forest, moving with terrifying speed despite its size. The soldier stood frozen, heart pounding, unable to process what he had just seen. He radioed for backup, his voice shaking as he reported contact with an unknown hostile entity. His superiors dismissed it as a bare encounter, instructing him to return to camp immediately. When he arrived, he noticed something strange. 2 unmarked black helicopters were already on the ground near the base. Men in black uniforms, with no visible insignia, were speaking quietly with commanding officers. The soldier was separated from his unit and escorted into a temporary structure. Inside, he was questioned extensively, not about his emotional state, but about precise details. The creature's height, its behavior, how many shots were fired, and exactly where the encounter took place. He was told, firmly and without explanation, that what he saw was a misidentified animal under stress. He was ordered not to discuss the incident with anyone, including fellow soldiers, and made to sign documents he was not allowed to read fully. Before being released, one of the men leaned in and said quietly, "For your own good, forget what you saw." In the days that followed, the area of the encounter was sealed off. Training exercises were relocated, and any mention of the incident was scrubbed from official logs. The soldier noticed increased aerial activity at night and heard rumors of specialized teams moving through the forest. No explanation was ever given. Years later, after leaving the military, the soldier began researching indigenous folklore and cryptid reports from Alaska. That was when he found descriptions of the Gugwe that matched his encounter perfectly. He also found accounts from hunters, hikers, and even other military personnel who described being questioned by mysterious government agents after witnessing unexplained creatures. What terrified him most wasn't just the Gugwe itself, but the realization that someone, or something, was monitoring these encounters closely. The men in black weren't just a myth from science fiction. They were real, organized, and deeply invested in keeping certain truths hidden. To this day, the former soldier avoids forests at night. He still dreams of glowing eyes in the trees and hears that bone-rattling roar echoing through his sleep. He believes the Alaskan wilderness holds secrets far older and more dangerous than humanity is willing to admit, and that some forces will go to extreme lengths to ensure those secrets remain buried.